as the leaves start to fall. Championship season begins in the Big Ten. Today in State College, Pennsylvania, a test of speed, endurance, and heart. Which runners will conquer their opponents and the course in the Ultimate Distance Running Challenge? The Big Ten Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships, next on the Big Ten Network. It is a beautiful fall day for cross country. And welcome to University Park, the blue and white golf course on the campus of Penn State University for the 2009 Big Ten Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships. Hi, everybody. Brent Stover alongside eight-time All-American. It's Luke Watson. And boy, on the men's side, the Wisconsin Badgers, they've been dominant. 10 straight team titles. On the women's side, back-to-back titles for the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. But it is wide open this year, very deep. 6 Big Ten teams inside the top 30 nationally. A lot of great individuals. We're going to see that. We'll talk about it coming up here. But this really is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah, cross country is absolutely a team race, and that'll be foremost in these runners' minds. You know, on the track, these runners are competing in different events, ranging from 800 meters up to 10,000. Here, they step to the line with one goal in mind, and that's to run their race and to do well for their team. So I can tell you, as a top runner on the team, it's one of the most exciting things when your coach is alongside you yelling, "We're looking great behind you."
The women will go 6,000 meters later on. The men, first of all, will go 5.2 miles. Speaking of, let's take a look at those two courses.
The men's course starts out with a fast, technical start where they go downhill. In the middle, they'll go over some rolling hills, and it'll be a challenging, tough middle section of the course where they'll try to find their rhythm. As they start to wind back towards the finish, they face the toughest hill on the course at 4 miles and the toughest 5th mile in sports as they wind around towards the finish. On the women's course, they face the same first mile, tricky, downhill, technical. They've got to watch out for the flying elbows. As they move towards the middle section of the course, it's a little flatter and they can find their rhythm. After 2.5 miles, it's the same tough uphill finish as the men. This is where the race will be won or lost.
And in order for a team victory, here's how it works. 9 runners per squad. The top 5 count toward the team total. The points are determined by the place in the race. For example, 3rd place, 3 points. 18th place, 18 points. And unlike most sports, the lowest point total wins the team competition. So, Luke, we look at the men, the Badgers, the defending champs, the women, the Gophers. What are you looking for, big picture here?
Well, on the men's side, the Badgers have a great stockpile of talent. They'll be tough to beat. If there's one team that can do it, I think it's going to be the Hoosiers of Indiana. They've got some great homegrown talent, and they've really impressed some people early on in this season.
And on the women's side?
On the women's side, we look for Illinois and Minnesota to wage a tight battle, just as they did at the pre-national meet. In that one, Illinois came out ahead by a few points. But Penn State will also be in this thing. On their home course, they know it better than anyone else.
All right, speaking of the course, let's head out to the third member of our telecast team. It's Rebecca Donahue, a 2-time Atlantic 10 champ, and she's got the conditions.
Thanks, Brent. Well, the conditions today are close to ideal for cross-country running. Temperatures are right around 50 degrees. The air is cool and crisp, great for breathing, minimal to no winds. The only issue might be the footing. As you can see down here, it's a bit spongy. We've had quite a bit of rain in the last few weeks. Those that are good in the mud, today's their kind of day. Back to you, Brent.
All right, Rebecca, thanks a lot. Coming up as we get set for the 2009 Big Ten Championships, we're going to get a course tour with Penn State head coach Beth Alford Sullivan, and then we get the men's race started from Penn State University. Back in University Park, Pennsylvania for the 2009 Big Ten Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships. Getting set just moments away from the start of the men's race. They will go 5.2 miles. And the head coach at Penn State for both the men and the women is Beth Alford Sullivan. She gives us a tour of some of the key points along this very challenging and tricky course.
Hi, I'm Beth Alfred Sullivan, Penn State's cross country and track and field coach. I'm here to take you on a tour of our cross country course that we'll be competing on for the Big Ten Championships this weekend. This course is a unique course. It was created by legendary coach Harry Groves, who back in the day made our men's course a 5.2-mile race. We're the only course in the country that has a 5.2-mile race, and you're going to get to see this here in Happy Valley. The lines that you see behind me are highlighting the courses. The blue line will be the 6,000-meter race for the women. The white line will be the 5.2-mile race for the men. I'm going to show you two critical points within the competition that are happening on this course. Where I am right now, we're about 250 meters into the race, and when the athletes are going to take a sweeping left-hand downhill turn to get out and into position early in the race. This is a critical juncture. We have just started from the start line. The athletes move very fast at this point in the course, and they are going to be jockeying and working very hard to get into position early. With the downhill factor, this is very, very critical. If they haven't gotten out and earned their position early, they're going to have some trouble later on in this race. Right now, I'm at the 2.5-mile mark for the women and about the 4-mile mark for the men in this championship competition. This is a critical point in the race. We've just come up a long, steep uphill, and from here on out, there's a mile, maybe a little over a mile left in the race. They're identical for both the men's and women's championship, and it is a challenging last part of the competition. Early on, they came off the line for a nice sweeping downhill start and had the flat part of this course to really pack up, find their teammates, and position for this championship competition. The unique part of this course here at Penn State is that this last mile is almost entirely uphill. Athletes will need to prepare to finish this race in championship form to be able to determine our champions from our runners-ups and our contenders from our pretenders.
Tactics and strategy, no doubt, will play a major role in the outcome of this race. Individually on the men's side, 5 or 10 different guys could win this thing, and we've got the defending champ back.
Yeah, Hassan Mead from Minnesota is a great talent. I've seen this guy run since high school, and he is a talent. I mean, he floats on the fairways. Hassan finished 5th at the pre-nationals, and that left him a little bit unsatisfied. So he said he had to do some more training. If that training leaves him a little bit tired, look for Andrew Bayer of Indiana or possibly Sean McNamara of Michigan to capitalize. But the guy I'd look out for also is Vince McNally from Penn State. He's been training incredibly well, and he knows this course better than anybody.
All right, the teams are heading to the starting line, seconds away, as we get set for the 2009 Men's Championship here in cross country. All right, Luke, so what's going through these guys' minds right now?
This is the most anxious moment all day for these guys. They've had a fitful night's sleep, thinking about the race, getting excited. They can't wait for this gun to go off and just do their thing.
So we're off. It's the 2009 Men's Cross Country Championship here in the Big Ten. How about the start?
Well, they'll get out fast. It's downhill, and they know it bottlenecks pretty quickly, so they're going to get right after it.
It can be a little bit treacherous here with that fast start. Guys, not at a dead sprint, but certainly a fast pace, and if one guy goes down, it could be bad, huh?
Yeah, there's 90 runners here, all trying to get to the same spot quickly. So you see some elbowing. These guys will be watching out for the elbows, looking out for guys cutting them off from in front.
All right, as these guys hit the bottleneck, let's check back in with Rebecca Donahue on one of our course vehicles at the front.
Right away, we have Hassan Mead leading. And again, the runners right now are jockeying for position. It's a very tight pack right now. It's early in the race. And it will stay like this for quite a while.
You see Hassan Mead out there, as Rebecca mentioned, from Minnesota. Jesse Luciano of Iowa. Kyle Dawson of Penn State setting the early pace here on this 5.2-mile course.
This is the point where they can start trying to find some of their teammates and look to gain that rhythm that they want to set throughout the whole race.
Jeff Thode also out there for Iowa, looking good. Hassan Mead, defending champ. Landon Peacock for Wisconsin, another guy we have to watch here today.
Yeah, Hassan Mead, the prohibitive favorite in this event. Landon Peacock, the second returner from Wisconsin, he's tough too. And I'd keep an eye on Jeff C. Jeff C is very accomplished in the mile, but he's been a little inconsistent in cross country, so we'll see what he does here today. He's right up front.